Hi guys, and welcome to World of War 3 Remastered Edition No Upgrade Run Plus playthrough. I never mentioned the plus when I present these videos, but it is a plus. So I'm going to reinstate the limitations. If you somehow just join me in this part, in part 19. Let me first explain some of this. We're going to be traveling with Pandora, and this is called the endurance fight, and this actually is not the fight. The fight comes later. And there are like 8 spawns with wraiths, sirens, the soldiers with the shields, no Medusas, so we can freeze anyone, Minotaurs, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some type of enemy. Practically all the enemies that we've seen in the game all together in one long endurance fight. It took me fucking 10 minutes to go through it, and it took me like an hour to actually beat it, so it was really difficult. And after this video, in part 20, we're going to have the fucking flying sequence that doesn't have a checkpoint when you fly down and to go to the area with the 3 churches and to fight the Cerberus breeder. That entire flying fucking sequence doesn't have spoilers. Wait, doesn't have what the fuck am I talking about? Doesn't have checkpoints. So it's just unthinkable. It's unthinkable because I get hit twice in the flying sequence, and I have to begin again from the. I mean, it doesn't have checkpoints. So again, it's just so fucking annoying. The other flying sequence had like 2 checkpoints or 3, and now we find out that we have an entire flying sequence that takes like 5 minutes that doesn't have a single checkpoint. So okay. So NUR Plus is basically we cannot upgrade anything. Weapons, health, magic, items, anything. We cannot upgrade anything. I have all my weapons and magic and items at the level that we begin the game. Well, actually the level when we descend into Hades and lose everything. So yeah, that's basically what NUR Plus means. No upgrade run plus. The plus is because you don't upgrade the health or the magic. If you do a no upgrade run without a plus, you can upgrade the health or the magic, or you can choose not to upgrade the health or the magic and upgrade the weapons. But if you do a plus, you can't upgrade anything. So the game really, and it's in chaos difficulty. This is the hardest difficulty in the game. So believe me when I say that the Cerberus breeder boss fight, because it is a boss fight, it's just torture. It's just fucking torture. I spent 2 different days with sessions of like I don't know, sessions like 3 or 4 hours each, and just taking fucking baby steps towards the completion of that boss fight. It has 3 phases, and each phase is harder than the last one. And you can only shoot magic so much. The fight is really long, and it's really important. It's almost crucial that you go with the Rage of Sparta activated. It's really crucial. So here we are. I'm going to talk more about that fight when we get to it, because there is not much to say unless it's fucking hard, guys. You don't have any fucking idea. If you haven't tried an upgrade run and the Cerberus leader, you have no fucking idea what difficulty really is. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I was dying with 1 hit, with 2 hits, And you're gonna see the battle that I have. It's truly fucking epic because I end up barely surviving it. It's just the best battle that I had. It was fucking incredibly hard, but when I beat it, it was the best feeling I ever had with this game. It's as simple as that. So we are approaching the room when we're going to fight all those enemies, the endurance fight. There are no tricks because there are no medusas. There are no parts of the room that I can exploit.
This is what hope delivers, child. You should learn that now.
There are no enemies that I can exploit, except the sirens to knock down other enemies, but I don't really stun the enemies, I just knock them down. So, and there is so much shit on the screen. The only thing that works on your favor is that the fact that Pandora, the child that you are with, she cannot die, of course, because if she could die, this would be fucking impossible. She cannot die, and she pulls enemies towards her, and that you will think that works on your favor, right? But it doesn't really. I mean, it does and it doesn't. A lot of times enemies do attacks off screen towards Pandora, and you're just looking for that enemy, and you just find the attack. You find the attack coming from nowhere, and you just die. I can't tell you how fucking many times I died by just being hit by an attack off screen. So those were 3 sirens in the first spawn. You really have to try to kill them as fast as you can. When you kill the 3 sirens, nothing else is gonna spawn, so you can kill the soldiers quietly. This is not gonna happen anywhere else in this entire fight. So really prioritize the sirens. The sirens are not going to knock back these soldiers though. These fucking soldiers block almost everything except the enemy ancestors. That's why I'm using them. I'm using it, sorry. But the sirens do knock down other sirens and do knock down the raids, which is useful. So when we kill some of these soldiers, 2 raids are going to spawn. There we go. I found out that doing the grab, the R1 plus a circle from off screen is really useful, and this is really useful to kill the raids. Just juggle them like this. Keep juggling them until they're dead, but keep in mind that while you are juggling them in the air like that, you don't have iframes. You can be hit. So again, if there is a siren in a room, prioritize the siren. She flies in the air and does an AoE that stuns you, and generally if you get stunned in this room, you're dead. So here I'm attacking the wraith, but as soon as I see the siren enter the screen, I'm going to go after her. This is going to stun the wraith roll. Yeah, there we go. The shield guys, leave them for the final attacks. They're probably, when you kill them, they're probably going to spawn more enemies. They're like, I'm not kidding here, there are like 7 or 8 different spawns here, or even more. So here we go, more shield guys. These are really dangerous, and they are like 4 spawns of the shields dudes, and they come in 4 or 5 people. You can really juggle them until you destroy the shields. You can really launch them or use other enemies to ram into them. The only thing you can do is break the shield, and try to never take more than 1 or 2 shield enemies at a time, because you're gonna get killed really fast. Now we have 2 Minotaurs. The Minotaurs are not as hard as they are. as they are as they can look, even though they are elites because they have the armor. They do this attack, which are 2. They do the rush, and you see that Pandora pulls the other ones sometimes. And they do look at this. That came off screen. If that could have hit me, I would have died. So it's not really that hard to defeat these enemies. I would say that the most difficult enemies in this whole gauntlet are the shield dudes. The shield dudes are really annoying. So this is called an endurance fight for one reason, guys. It's a 10-minute fight. You have to endure without a minute respite against tons and tons of enemies. I mean, if they would have put a Medusa here, we would have used the Medusa to freeze enemies, to stone them. But they intelligently didn't include a Medusa here. So this is a lot more difficult because we don't have we can't really use enemies against their own. I mean, we can use these soldiers to ram into the sirens and raids, and we can use maybe the sirens to knock down, as I said, other enemies, but not the shield dudes. So more sirens, immediately go after the sirens, juggle them in the air like this. This is really useful. Immediately she goes into the quick time event. If you can continue to hit her, see, I'm going to chase her. And look at that came really close. This is going to launch the Minotaur and the other siren, probably. Just be careful here. Am I going to do the quick time event? Okay. I hate quick time events when you juggle the stick. So I don't usually do quick time events with these enemies, but there is a raid here, another siren. The siren is her priority. See, she gets distracted by Pandora, and that's when you need to act. You have to take this really slowly, guys. You can't really try to rush this, especially in upgrade. It's so easy to die here. So the invisible chests, as you can see there, that you can uncover, are not. They not contain magic or health. So you only get the health that you came to this fight for. If you die, you simply restart the whole battle all over again. And there are no checkpoints through this entire gauntlet. Not one checkpoint. So this is officially the biggest and hardest battle in the game, where there are multiple enemies, of course, because if we will talk about the hardest battle, is in a no-brainer the Cerberus Breeder fight. And Scorpius, of course. But I can tell you how much more difficult the Cerberus Breeder was. Scorpius doesn't even get to the same level as the Cerberus Breeder. There's so much shit that can happen in the Cerberus Breeder. Again, so much shit dependent on luck and on positioning and simply on bad luck on your side. Or as you're gonna see, various moments in my fight where I could have died, but I just didn't because the attack just didn't reach me, or because I skillfully, let me say myself, used the iframes of the roll. But you really have to get, I will say you really have to get down the roll with the Blaze of Exile the exact moment when you have iframes, the exact moment where they end. You really have to get down that for that fight, because you can't block everything, because yes, you can block the Cerberus Breeder, and yes, you can block the two satyrs that they spawn, but the Cerberus Breeder is going to be vomiting explosive enemies that if usually two enemies exploding around you is good enough to reset the entire fight, and there are no checkpoints in the entire boss battle, and it has 3 phases. So really, you can't just stand there and block. You have to move. You have to dash. You have to quick roll. You have to launch the ladders with the boots. It's the best strategy that I have found, and I'm going to explain better the fight when we get to it. This is going to be part 21, because I'm going to upload part 20, which is the bullshit flight sequence. I'm probably going to call it like that, or something insulting. Like his own movie, like his own video, and the Cerberus breeder in part 21 alone. So more wraith, guys, more wraiths. So juggle them like this if you can. See that Pandora always moves to where Kratos is, so that's really dangerous, because if some enemy, as I said before, if an enemy attacks Pandora and Pandora moves towards Kratos, I can't tell you how many times I died because Pandora just got near me and someone was attacking Pandora and it hit me. So there we go, guys. The endurance fight completed. Jesus, that was hard. So we're gonna move this switch here, and we're gonna go up, and that's almost everything. I think I said everything that I want to say. So officially I beated the Cerberus breeder, and you're going to see the fight on chapter 21. Next chapter is going to be commented, it's going to be the flying sequence. Thank you for watching, and take care.